This video introduces what technology is. How do we define it? How do we think about it? Historically, there have been 5 different ways of looking at technology, and we're going to go through each of them. First, we're going to talk about material definitions of technology. Second, knowledge-based. Third, practice. Fourth, technique. And fifth, societal. First, we have the least useful view to us as sociologists, technology as a material substance. In this view, technology is simply a tool, something that's completely separate from human existence and society. The problem with this view is it doesn't consider the preconditions in which technology is developed, which technologies are invested in, which are seen as valuable to a society. It also doesn't consider the impacts of technology, not only on the material world, but also on the social world. And it doesn't consider access. Is there equitable access to a technology? Does access to the technology confer significant advantages? Technology as a form of knowledge generally relates to the development of artifacts. Artifacts are all objects that have been modified, modeled, or produced according to a set of humanly imposed attributes such as tools, weapons, ornaments, utensils, and buildings. Technological knowledge is therefore focused on the ability to create, use, or transform objects to facilitate certain activities or achieve specific goals. Citation from McGinn, 1978, in our textbook. So what this is telling us that this specific form of knowledge generally involves making things, inventing things, creating things. This is still somewhat limited, and we're going to move on now to discuss Layton's model of technology. Among the technology as knowledge models, Layton's model moves us a little bit closer to our more common views today. In this view, technology is really a combination of 3 elements. First, the ideas that make it possible, or what we call the technological imagination. It's the thought process that allows us to imagine or develop this idea of an artifact that we're going to create. The design process is the second piece of that process. That's taking us from our abstract idea to a workable design, to a real object that can function. And finally, we have the techniques. The technique is the actual artifact. The artifact is a material object that allows us to do something. Technology as practice is an idea developed by Ursula Franklin in 1992. In this view, technology is not merely the sum of artifacts, but it's a system involving organization, procedures, symbols, new words, and most importantly, a mindset. We have to understand technology as it is involved with everyday human activity. Franklin overall had a rather pessimistic view of technology. She argued that technology should be able to set us free or liberate us, but in actuality, it seems like what we're ending up with is technologically induced human isolation, which I can't say this class isn't somewhat of an example of. Fundamentally, the way our behaviors with technology become normalized can make a rather large change in our social world, and it's definitely something that we need to study. Technology as technique is an action-oriented view. In this view, we're going to distinguish between technology and technique itself. Technique is the abstract concept, not the actual object that has been developed with technology. Scholars who look at technology in this way look at how human activity further divides it into a goal and the mechanisms by which we achieve the goal. Habermas argues that it's a realization of strategic action. People who see technology as technique are often very critical of the way that it imposes efficiency at the expense of other values. Technology as society is well exemplified by Simpson's view. Simpson argues that technology encompasses knowledge, mechanisms, skills, and apparatus that are geared toward controlling and transforming society. In this view, technology becomes an agent of change that can alter the way we live. Theorist Jean Baudrillard takes it even further and argues that eventually technology becomes our world as we know it. Marcuse gives us a critique. Marcuse points out that over time, increasingly, we want more and more technology, and technology actually becomes a mediating object through which we come to understand the world. Again, I can't think of a better example of this than this actual class. So which definition should we use? Our textbook gives us an updated definition. Technology is a socio-material assemblage of material objects embodying and reflecting societal elements such as knowledge, norms, and attitudes that have been shaped and structured to serve social, political, cultural, and existential purposes. So that's the background on what we have done theoretically with technology and society. But what are we doing today? Today, when we study technology and society, often we hear people talking about three different ways to approach it: simulation, augmentation, and automation. Today, a hot topic is simulation. Can machines replicate human intelligence? Alan Turing, around 1950, first came up with the idea of the thinking machine and developed his test called the Turing test, asking, can we distinguish between artificial intelligence and human thought? Today, we have chatbots and AI. Generally, chatbots and AI rely on algorithms. They're great for providing overall assessment of data, such as diagnoses, but as of yet, computers don't seem to show the ability to think. Augmentation refers to using technology to improve the human body or the human experience. It's hybridity between humans and technology. When I was a kid, two popular TV shows were The Bionic Man and The Bionic Woman, which featured people made better, smarter, faster with technology. Today, cyborgs are actually a reality. Many people use wearable computing devices, and artificial limbs can be connected directly to our nervous system. The possibilities of transhumanism provide many interesting conundrums and possibilities. Automation refers to the replacement with non-human technologies of jobs, tasks, or processes previously done by human beings. We need to think about the potential ethical dilemmas that go along with these replacements. Who is being replaced and who is being facilitated? In addition, studies have shown that automation may not actually be saving us any time or money, and it may not be giving us better products. Thanks, everyone. Have a good one.